Imagine this: two innocent children, ages just 2 and 3, vanish without a trace. Their tiny footsteps fade into silence. Their laughter, gone. Their toys left untouched. And the only person who might know where they are, is their mother. This is the heartbreaking story of Jacob and Sarah, two siblings from Maryland whose lives were cut short, perhaps at the very hands of the woman who gave them life. On a quiet September day in 2014, their mother, Catherine Hoggle, was seen with her youngest, Jacob. Sarah had last been spotted earlier that same week. Neither child was ever seen again. The search began almost immediately. Their father, Troy Turner, frantically dialed their names into the night air, calling police, knocking on neighbors' doors, begging for answers. But no child appeared. What happened to Jacob and Sarah? Why did Catherine return home without them? And why, even after years of questioning, has she never revealed the truth? Catherine wasn't just any mother. Friends described her as strange, withdrawn, sometimes caring but often distant. She struggled with schizophrenia and other mental health conditions, a fact well known to her family. But mental illness alone cannot explain why two toddlers disappeared. In the days following the disappearance, Catherine offered conflicting stories. She claimed the children were safe. She insisted she had dropped them at a daycare, but no daycare could be found. Later, she suggested they were with friends. Then, she went silent. Her shifting answers weren't just suspicious, they were chilling. Imagine being a father, watching the woman you once trusted as a partner look you in the eye and lie, again and again, while your children remain missing. Did Catherine hide them? Did she harm them? Or is there a possibility she gave them away to someone? The community in Montgomery County, Maryland, rallied together. Volunteers lined the streets, combed through wooded areas, and searched parks, playgrounds, and rivers. Flyers with Jacob and Sarah's little faces, smiles frozen in time, were posted everywhere. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, hope began to fade. The father, Troy Turner, became the public face of the search, pleading through tears for Catherine to tell the truth. His voice cracked on television, his eyes hollow from sleepless nights. "If you know where my babies are, please, please, bring them back." But Catherine, even under interrogation, refused to reveal where the children were. The heartbreak wasn't just for a father. It was for a community. Two young lives stolen from their world, leaving only questions and anger. Catherine's behavior grew increasingly bizarre. She smiled during interviews. She acted calm when asked about her missing kids. And whenever investigators pressed her, she changed her story. At one point, she admitted to giving the children away, but she never said to whom. At another, she suggested they were safe somewhere. But no matter how many times she was asked, no matter how much pressure was applied, she never told police or her family the truth. Why? Was it guilt? Defiance? Or her mental illness clouding reality? To this day, no one knows. In 2014, Catherine was charged with murder and kidnapping. But those charges were quickly dropped after she was declared incompetent to stand trial. Instead of prison, she was committed to a psychiatric institution. Years passed. Every 6 months, doctors evaluated her mental state. Each time, they declared she was still incompetent. Each time, justice slipped further away. But time doesn't erase grief. Every year, the father begged for updates. Every year, the case seemed to stall. The justice system was trapped, unable to prosecute, unable to close the case. And in the shadows of that legal limbo, the truth of Jacob and Sarah's fate remained buried. Troy Turner never gave up. He fought tirelessly for justice, for answers, for even a shred of truth. He stood in courtrooms, he pleaded with judges, he challenged psychiatrists, he rallied the community. He carried the unbearable weight of 2 missing children, knowing the one person who held the answers refused to speak. Imagine the torment, living day after day, year after year, knowing your children are likely dead, but never knowing how, or why, or where they rest. This is not just a legal mystery. It is the agony of a father's broken heart. After nearly a decade, in 2023, something shifted. A grand jury re-indicted Catherine Hoggle on 2 counts of murder. The news broke like a thunderclap. For the family, it was both relief and pain. Relief that finally, justice might move forward. Pain that it had taken so long, and that the children were almost certainly dead. The state was ready to argue that Catherine was now competent, and that she should face trial for what happened. But the question remained, could they finally prove it? To understand this, you need to know how the system works. A competency evaluation determines whether a defendant understands the charges against them, and whether they can participate in their own defense. Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober explained that these evaluations involve detailed interviews, psychological testing, and medical history reviews. If someone is found incompetent, they cannot be tried, no matter how severe the crime. It is a balance between compassion and justice. But in Catherine's case, many believe this balance tipped too far, leaving a father without closure and a community without answers. Murder. Catherine killed the children and hid their bodies. Concealment. She gave them away to someone she trusted. Delusion. Her illness created a world where she believed the children were safe when they were not. Each theory brings pain. Each one suggests the children will never come home. But without Catherine's confession, the truth remains locked inside her mind. This case isn't just about 2 missing children. It is about how we, as a society, handle mental illness, justice, and responsibility. Should someone be shielded from trial because of illness, even if children are dead? Should the law prioritize compassion for the accused, or justice for the victims? And how do families endure, caught in the middle of endless waiting? These are questions with no easy answers. As of today, Jacob and Sarah remain missing. Their bodies have never been found. Their mother has never confessed. And their father still waits for justice. Do you believe Catherine knows exactly what happened to her children? Or do you think her illness has buried the truth even from herself? Comment below. Because this mystery is far from over. From this tragedy, there are lessons we must all learn. Family awareness. If someone is struggling with mental illness, especially while caring for children, speak up. Seek help. Do not ignore the warning signs. Legal system. Justice must be swift, but it must also be fair. Competency evaluations should never silence the voices of victims. Community responsibility. When children go missing, every second counts. Communities must act immediately and forcefully. The heartbreaking disappearance of Jacob and Sarah is a reminder that silence is dangerous, and that justice delayed is justice denied. May their memory push us to protect the vulnerable, to speak when others are silent, and to demand truth, even when it hurts. If you found this story important, share it, subscribe, and join the discussion. Because the only way to honor Jacob and Sarah is to never forget them.